This is March the 11th, Purim actually, and the Lord gave me 3 incredible dreams last night after I asked him a question. First of all, I'm thankful to God for saving our little tiny chipmunk Charlie. Little Charlie, we have a squirrel we also call Big Charlie, but on the other side of the bird feeder on the left is Little Charlie, and I'm glad he made it. Oh, there he goes. Glad he made it through the winter. Anyway, I asked God a question last night. You know, sometimes you read these dreams and visions and words of others and you become a little concerned. You think you're not doing something right. So you repent, and you should. We should always repent continuously because we're not perfect. We're in this flesh. We know it. We don't really like it. But it is our purpose to be here right now. So with God's help, we can get through every single day. And I asked him, Lord, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Should I be off the internet? Should I be totally fasting and praying? What should I be doing? Am I doing something wrong? And so please show me. And so he showed me some very interesting things, including something that I had asked about. It's a really cool woodpecker. Something he had asked me about, I had asked him about, which is to show me some of the destruction. I mean, some of these people have seen it and they don't like to talk about it, and I have never seen any destruction. So I asked him about that a while back, but he included it in one of these dreams. So the first dream is where I was with friends in school, and I knew that we were just getting ready for our final class year, whatever you want to call it. Don't take this to mean it's a full year. Okay, that's just in my mind. I knew it was like senior time, and we were just getting ready to study like the 3 hardest subjects, and one of them for sure was science. It was like science, math, physics, and I knew I could not do these on my own, and I knew I had to form study groups with others, and that was going to happen. And so I also remember that one of my friends was not going to be with us. She had said she would be coming later on, and I felt bad for her because to me that meant she would not have a study group, and there was no way we could do these things without a study group. So that was the first part of the dream. And in the second part of that dream, there you go. In the second part, I was in a building that was going to have a wedding, and I had to help clean up and get the place ready for the wedding. And so I was walking around picking up things and kind of cleaning, and ironically what I was picking up the most was knickknacks. Now, if you know what knickknacks are, everybody has them. They're just little doodads or things that you buy. Sometimes you go on a vacation and you buy something from another state or whatever to remind you of that. Just things that are really useless. You just look at them. And I was picking up knickknacks from the United States. They had, like, it was a American flag on some kind of golden plaque and stars and stripes, and everything that was a knickknack was American. So that was the end of that dream. I knew I was cleaning it out. I was getting ready for these beautiful flowers. You know, it was like make room for these beautiful flowers. So that interprets to me to mean that we are all together in this. I personally am not supposed to leave the internet. I'm to keep doing what I'm supposed to do, and I believe I'm doing everything that I am doing correctly because I'm already studying with friends. I'm already with you guys. You're part of this group on the Call of the Bride that posts, and you also send me emails, and we converse and talk, and we're understanding all these things together, especially as time gets further on. It's going to get harder, more scientific, possibly to do with CERN, possibly to do with the things in the sky and Planet X. So together we're going to go through this, and we're also going to help in the aftermath of the destruction in the United States, which is the second part of the dream, cleaning it up before the rapture. We know this. We know we'll be out helping in the harvest before the rapture. So that was the first dream. The second dream, I was in an apartment building and I was walking down a hallway. I was with my family. I had like a large family, and there was I was with a young woman, but there was also a wolf in the hallway. And it looked a little bit injured, and this woman had a piece of bread and butter and said she was going to feed it because she felt sorry for it. And I remember thinking, but it's a wolf. So she fed the wolf, and before I could even say anything, so I turned around and got away from her and understood I needed to get the wolf out of the apartment building, out of where my family was. So I got a broom, and my daughter was in this dream, and I had her go around the other side of the house, and we kind of shooed the wolf out the door back to its family. Now, that's what's interesting is when we got to the area, and this was still in the apartment building, it was in another area of the apartment building, the doors would not shut all the way. They kind of opened up, and they wouldn't latch. And so we saw the mother of puppies. There was mother of puppies, a dog, and the puppies were cute, but I thought, well, their ears are a little long and pointy. And then suddenly the father of the puppies came near the door, and it was this huge wolf. So it was a wolf and a mother dog and these puppies, and the puppies were cute, but the wolf dog did not want anybody near it. He was growling ferociously. So of course I backed away, and I knew I had to warn the rest of the people in the apartment about this wolf. And that was the second dream. And so that's kind of obvious to me that this woman that I was with initially couldn't even tell that this was a dangerous wolf, and she was feeding it. She was giving it, you know, bread and butter to me is like manna. She was giving it something that, and it was a bad thing. And so we're being shown here that there are wolves around us. Now the next dream is even more interesting, and it kind of blew me away. So I was in a car, and there was a man, and he came and asked me about this business card, and he asked me if my company did this work. And so I was talking to him about work, and suddenly, and it's like I'm in a park area, but I am in a car. This man is outside and talking through the window, and I see this wolf that shows up again, and it is just kind of maybe 20 feet away near my car. And then I also see, this is the one that I kind of am thrown about, a monkey shows up, and the monkey just sits and stares at me. Now there's other people in the park, and this man continues to talk to me about my work. I think he's distracting me. And the monkey, I believe, is pointing to, I believe we're being watched right now, and this is a clever method. You know, monkeys can be clever, so it's a clever way of keeping track of us, keeping an eye on us. And the wolf, of course, is just ready to eat us up as soon as we make a mistake, and we don't have God's protection, which I'm constantly praying for. So the dream gets more interesting. So this woman shows up, and she goes over to the wolf and she kisses its face, and I'm thinking, she's nuts, this thing's gonna bite her head off. And so I realized at that point, these things are dangerous. I need to leave now. So I mean, I stepped on the gas and just tore out of there. Now, as I was driving through the park, and I got near the road of the park, I could see that people were sitting on the ground. Some were kind of laid over, like they were hurt. And I got on the road in my car, and I'm still driving, and I'm on this bridge. And oh, look at that. There's a coyote out in the field. You see it? I think God's telling us right now, yeah, you need to watch out for them wolves. He needs to not look at my house because, okay, he's looking away. Anyway, that's a confirmation if I ever saw one. So in this dream, though, these people, as I get on the road, I'm driving, I start to drive towards this bridge in this town. and it's everything in the town I can see. I can see hills and mountains in the background. I can see utility things. I can see, wires and everything that would pertain to a town. And I just knew that it was, God was showing me destruction, because on this bridge there it was littered, and that's the word that came to me, littered with people, and they were bloody, and the people were, I remember seeing a couple women. They were moving. They weren't all dead, but they had blood coming out of them as if they had been shot. Now, I don't think they'd been shot because of the destruction of the city, but maybe something had pierced them and they were bleeding because of that. But one woman had on like a white soft cotton dress, and you could just see the blood coming out of it. And, excuse me. And so I understand that there's destruction. I look to my left on this bridge, and there's water. It's like a river. I'm crossing a little river, and the water is receding. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, there's a tsunami coming. I already know what I'm seeing. God's showing me this. I've seen this in a dream before. I hadn't seen destruction, but I had seen receding water. To the right of me, I believe, I can't remember too well, but I believe it was the city, and it was destroyed, like possibly an earthquake. The whole time I'm still in my car, I'm still on this bridge, and I'm praying to God, and I'm saying, God, where am I? Where am I? Do you want to show me where I am? I looked for a landmark that would be obvious. I didn't see anything, so I felt maybe I wasn't supposed to know where I was. And the idea came to me, and this wasn't, I don't believe this was from God, but just my own thoughts, was I wonder if this is what Italy looks like. Okay, that's just my thought, was Italy. Well, as I continued, let me see my notes because I wrote these down. Across the bridge, the water, I turned around and looked behind me, and I looked up in the sky, and there were these gray things. That's all I can describe as things, like possibly big vultures. They might not even have been birds, but there was moving things in the sky. Maybe it was demonic, but they were moving around. It was not natural. And as I looked up in the sky towards away from the city, I could see this huge building. And I remember thinking, I wouldn't even want to, we can't even build things that high, and I wouldn't want to be in that building. It's so high in the sky. This particular building was not destroyed or damaged, but it was kind of blurry. God wasn't showing me everything. And as my eyes came back down to ground level, I saw the name of the building, and it said New Admin. So that to me means new administration, and that to me also means the Antichrist. He puts his new world order in place. And so this was a very lucid dream. Towards the end, I knew God was showing me destruction, which is why I wanted to see where I was, but I don't think that was important. I think what was important is we are being watched. There are wolves around us, but we will be able to see them clearly, whereas other people will not. They will think they are, this woman kissing the wolf and another one giving it food. They might think they are helping and giving compassion to things that are not of God, certainly, and things that will destroy them in the end. So I hope these were helpful to you. I do want to give you one confirmation, which kind of blew me away after the first dream. I forgot to tell you that as I woke up and I was thinking about the dream, I started to hear a hoot owl in the background. So if you guys remember, this happened to me before, and I'll put a link. I can't even remember if it was where I posted it on my website, but I'll put a link or the story itself so you'll have that. But that hoot owl to me is a confirmation that God was with me. He was showing me this dream. That's Cardinal there getting a drink of water. And it was just amazing to me. So I'm going to stop this before I get cut off, and please post any wonderful comments below that helps me understand, especially that monkey. That one kind of threw me. Thanks.